There's a specific kind of pain that doesn't show up on an X-ray, yet it feels more debilitating than a broken bone. It is the crushing weight of a broken heart. When a relationship ends, especially one you poured your hopes, dreams, and years into, it can feel like the very foundation of your world has shifted. You feel discarded, lonely, and perhaps even ashamed. But I want to remind you that your heart is not too broken for the one who created it. Today, we anchor our hope in Psalm 147, verse 3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. To paraphrase this for your situation, God is not a distant observer of your pain, He is a divine surgeon. The Hebrew word for binds actually refers to the way a physician would wrap a bandage around a deep, bleeding wound to keep it protected while it heals. God isn't telling you to just get over it, He is offering to personally tend to the jagged edges of your soul. A common mistake people make during a breakup is trying to self-medicate the pain through new relationships, distractions, or bitterness. These are like band-aids on a wound that requires surgery. Real healing begins when you stop running from the pain and start bringing it to the altar. We see this process of profound heartbreak and restoration throughout the scriptures. Consider King David, particularly during the betrayal of his own son, Absalom, and the loss of close relationships. In the Psalms, David is brutally honest about his soul being cast down and his tears being his food, yet he always returned to the character of God as his comforter. Another powerful example is Hagar in Genesis chapter 16. She was cast out, rejected, and left alone in a wilderness with her child. In her moment of deepest isolation and relationship ending, she met God, whom she called El Roi, the God who sees me. This is an insider secret. God often does His deepest work in you when you feel the most invisible to everyone else. Perhaps the most poignant example of healing after rejection is Hosea and Gomer. Even when faced with a broken covenant and repeated betrayal, we see a picture of God's heart for restoration. It reminds us that your worth is not defined by the person who walked away from you. If you were rejected, remember that Jesus Himself was the stone the builders rejected, who became the chief cornerstone. He understands the sting of betrayal by a close friend, the pain of being misunderstood, and the loneliness of the garden. Because He was broken for us, He has the authority to mend us. A pro tip for your healing journey is the identity audit. When a relationship ends, we often lose our sense of self because we tied our identity to being someone's partner. You must realize that single, divorced, or rejected are social statuses, not spiritual identities. Your true identity is beloved of God. Deep analysis of Psalm 147:3 shows that God's healing is not just emotional. It is functional. He binds the wounds so that you can walk again, love again, and serve again. He doesn't just want to take away the pain. He wants to restore your capacity for joy. One insider secret to faster healing is the practice of intentional forgiveness. Forgiveness is not saying what they did was okay. It is releasing the debt so that it no longer ties you to the person who hurt you. If you hold on to bitterness, you are still linked to the past. When you forgive, you cut the cord and allow the great physician to close the wound. In conclusion, your story did not end when that relationship did. The author of your life is simply starting a new chapter. You may have scars, but scars are a sign of healing. They are proof that the wound is no longer open. Trust the process. Stay close to the shepherd. He is specialized in taking what is shattered and making it whole. Your heart will beat with joy again, your eyes will see light again, and you will realize that God was closest to you when you felt most alone.